So today, lads, we're going to be redrafting the 2003 NBA draft. One of the most iconic NBA drafts of all time. And we're going to be redrafting it. Before we get on to it, we're doing Hoopsmas. We're uploading 10 videos every single day. And between the 1st and the 25th of December, we're going to be redrafting every single draft from 2000 all the way up till 2024. But anyway, let's see. Well, if you guys are new to the channel as well, obviously if you're new to the WNBA channel, subscribe to that one. But if you're new to this channel, subscribe. We've already hit 7550, 7555. Like, that's the goal. Like, the goal was 75550, which is 7550. But yeah, that's incredible. But anyway, the number one overall pick in this draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers selected LeBron James. And in a redraft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select LeBron James. In my opinion, I don't like what he's done now. But if you just if you just do what all the Jordan fans do and ignore his Wizards tenure, and we ignore this year of LeBron James, this season of LeBron James, I still have him as the best player ever. Like, he's made 20 All-NBA teams. Like, it's mental. He's the all-time leader in points. He's going to be one of the all-time leaders in assists, rebounds, in every statistical category. He had a legitimately 12-year spell of being one of the best defensive players in the NBA. And yeah, he's just done everything. He's led the league in points. He's led the league in assists. And he could just absolutely do it all. At his peak, like, man, he nearly had, like, he was almost robbed. Like, he was one vote, and somehow Marc Gasol winning Defensive Player of the Year despite not making the All-Defensive First Team. But he was literally one vote and that happening away from being unanimous MVP, Finals MVP, champion, had a 27-game winning streak, Defensive Player of the Year. Like, he nearly had literally the perfect season. But anyway, yeah, obviously number one. In the real draft, the Detroit Pistons took Darko Milicic, and in a redraft, the Detroit Pistons are going to take Dwayne Wade. Like, I see some arguments for Carmelo Anthony. I don't know what Carmelo Anthony did better than Dwayne Wade. I'm not joking when I say that. Like, people are saying, oh, Carmelo was a better scorer. Like, they both led the league in scoring once. Dwayne Wade did it by scoring more points than Carmelo Anthony did. Dwayne Wade is a number one option. He's a champion. Carmelo Anthony is a number one option. And I kid you not, in only 2 seasons of his career did he win a playoff series as a number one option. In only 2 series in his entire career. He never won a playoff series as the lower seed for Carmelo Anthony. Whereas Dwayne Wade, heck, I'm pretty sure, was Dwayne Wade even doing that in 20? No, he wasn't. Sorry, they were the 3 seed in 2016. I was like, he was almost doing that in 2016. Like, he got the Game 7 against Toronto. Like, he won. Like, Dwayne Wade had almost as much playoff success post LeBron when he was washed and injured as Melo had in his career. So Dwayne Wade's going number 2. But number 3 is going to be Carmelo Anthony. The Nuggets are going to take him. He was I think you could 100% argue Carmelo Anthony Rookie of the Year. He got the Nuggets to the playoffs, and they'd been terrible the year before. And yeah, like, he's one of the best scorers we've ever seen. Again, not necessarily a playoff riser, but at the same time, when it comes to the Denver Nuggets, it's hilarious, though. He will not get his jersey retired. That's going to be Jokic, which is mad. But they took him in real life. They're going to take him again. And just another back-to-back pick where the Raptors also take Chris Bosh. So 2 picks in a row where the teams made the right choice. Like, Chris Bosh was genuinely a top tier player. He was the player to sacrifice so much to go to the Miami Heat. And like, when what he sacrificed, people don't realize he became that real first stretch 5 to play at a successful level. Like, that team doesn't function without Chris Bosh. And he was on track not to have an NBA or an MVP level season 2015, but 2015 and 2016 he was looking like he was on track to being an all NBA player again. Then he had to obviously retire because of blood clots. Chris Bosh was absolutely fantastic, and the way he developed his game in Miami was incredible. He was a good defender, and obviously in Toronto he was like a 20 and 10 guy, so he's going to be there. With the 6th pick in the draft, this is where there's a huge drop-off. In real life, the 6th pick in the draft was the Clippers, and they took Chris Kaman. And Chris Kaman actually would have been my 11th pick in this draft, but with the 6th pick with the 5th pick in the draft, sorry. What am I talking about? Miami Heat select Dwayne Wade. We're at pick number 5. But it's David West. David West was an all-star. David West was really good, just in general. David West was really good. Like, people kind of underrate David West. But, like, David West was, I thought, fantastic with New Orleans. I really liked him in Indiana. I think he has a ring, doesn't he? I think David West might have a ring. He went ring chasing towards the end of his career. Like, he went to San Antonio for a year, and I think he went to Golden State after that. I would assume with the ring chasing he did at the end of his career, he has a ring. Either way, though, when it comes to David West, he is, without question, like, again, there's a pretty big drop-off after him. And then, obviously, with the 6th pick, the Clippers select Chris Kaman. In a redraft, the Clippers select Kyle Korver. Kyle Korver is going to go down as one of the best shooters of all time. He could shoot coming off screens. Genuinely, the year he had in 2015, it's funny people looking back on it, and they're like, this is a disgrace that he was an all-star, and like just looking at the numbers, and they don't realize they're in the reality, he wasn't picked as an all-star. There was so much uproar that when someone got injured, he came in as a reserve. He came in as an injury reserve, and there was so much uproar about him not making it that they had to pick him. Like, he made that Atlanta Hawks team tick. At that all-star break in that year, he was shooting something like 55, 50, 95. Something we'd never seen before. But Korver, I'm telling you, there was a 3 or 4 year spell where Kyle Korver was just absolutely superb. And again, I'm pretty sure the guy has the record for the highest 3-point percentage for a season as well. Kyle Korver, whether it be Utah, whether it be in Philly, whether it be in Atlanta, was just a insane player. Like, absolutely insane. But, yeah, I'm going to have Kyle Korver in here at the 6th pick. With the 7th pick in the 2003 NBA draft, the Bulls select Kirk Hinrich. And I still have the Bulls selecting Kirk Hinrich. Like, people don't realize how good Kirk Hinrich was. Like, he wasn't this superb player or anything. Like, as in, sorry, he wasn't like an all-star player. He wasn't a star player. But he was like starting point guard for Team USA at the 2006 World Cup. Yes, it was a bad Team USA. But like, Hinrich gave you defense. Hinrich gave you shooting. And Hinrich just gave you a steady pair of hands. Whether he was running the one for the start of his career, beside of Ben Gordon. Whether he was coming off the bench towards the end of his career, or whether he was running like a 1-2 kind of hybrid with him and Derrick Rose. He could kind of fit in everywhere. And there are one-time All-Stars that I have picked after him. I just think the fact that he had, 11 solid years in the NBA. There was nothing spectacular when it came to Kirk Hinrich. Like, he was just good. And that's the best way I can describe it. Like, he was just a real good player, a real solid player. Like, an all-defensive second team nod. But, like, he stayed with the Chicago Bulls. I forgot that he spent 2 years away from the Bulls. But outside of a brief time in Atlanta and Washington, he spent almost the entirety of his 14-year NBA career with the Bulls. Really, really good player. With the 8th pick in the draft, the Milwaukee Bucks selected TJ Ford. And honestly, if it wasn't for injuries, TJ Ford might even be higher. Might honestly be higher. TJ Ford was so freaking good. He was just got injured quickly. Like, I remember him playing for Toronto. But I got Boris Diaw going here, my favorite player of all time. Purely, if the 2014 finals where he was robbed of a finals MVP did not happen, Boris Diaw would not be on this list. But like, Boris Diaw, like, there are very few players in the NBA that can change a game without taking a shot, and that was Boris Diaw. Like, his role in that Spurs team, like, he was just start free roaming. He was just cutting when he wanted to. He was making passes when he wanted to. He was not running the plays, but he just made the right decisions so many times. He was one of the best defensive players in the entire NBA on LeBron James. Back when LeBron was like at the peak of his powers, he did an unbelievable job guarding LeBron James in both of those finals. Like, there wasn't that much of a drop-off when Boris Diaw or Kawhi Leonard were guarding LeBron. And he, up until the final game, I'm pretty sure through 4 games in a finals, he had the highest plus-minus in the history of the NBA finals. Boris Diaw, you are my favorite player, and I'm saying you are going to go 8th, ahead of 2 one-time All-Stars. With the 9th pick in the draft, Michael Sweetney was taken by the New York Knicks, and in a redraft, Josh Howard is taken by the Knicks. Josh Howard, a combination of injuries and an inability to get his shit together, stopped Josh Howard from having a really, really productive, long NBA career. But the reality is the guy was pretty much out of the league by like 2009. Like, by then he was done. He just had a quite high peak. Like, he was a near 20-point a game scorer for a couple of seasons. He was an all-star in Dallas and was a really good, big part of them making the 2006 NBA Finals. And I think it's probably harsh putting him at 9, but still, I'm just not sold on just the totality of his career. For that reason, I got him 9. And number 10 in the actual 2003 NBA draft, Jarvis Hayes was selected by Washington Wizards. If this was NBA 2K, Jarvis Hayes would be a budget beast, but we're taking one-time All-Star Mo Williams. How he made an All-Star team is crazy. And you know what? His biggest contribution to Cleveland might, in fact, have been he was part of the trade that got them Kyrie Irving. He got the draft pick that ended up being Kyrie Irving. Mo Williams was a guy. He had a couple of seasons where he was averaging like 17, 18 a game. He was LeBron's number 2, which shows how bad Cleveland put a roster around LeBron in those 2008, 2009 years. He could shoot the ball. Outside of those 2 years, he really didn't do anything. Even when he went back to Cleveland, I think he might actually have a ring, if I'm not mistaken. He did not do much. He was not good at the Clippers. He did not have much of an NBA career after that. And look, Mo Williams will be always remembered as one of those guys that just randomly had an all-star because he played with LeBron James. Almost like no offense, BJ. I'm a fan of BJ Armstrong, but like he got the all-star because he got voted in starting and the Bulls just had more fans. Like, yeah. But anyway, that is pretty much it. We are going to we're going to be doing more drafts or more redrafts throughout the month. But this is the 2003 redraft. It is 3:56 in the morning, and I can finally stop recording videos for today. Oh, actually, no, I have one more WNBA video. I can finally stop recording NBA videos for today. I got like 10 more minutes of recording, but I'll see you guys.